We welcome you to Waxhaw, North Carolina tonight for Game 2 of our doubleheader on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We've got two schools separated by about 10 minutes in the Southern Carolina 4A Conference. It's the Warriors of Weddington traveling to Marvin Ridge to take on the Mavericks, a couple of 3-0 teams in the Southern Carolina 4A. Hi everyone, Kendall Lewis here with you on BahakelSports.com tonight for what should be a good one, the first of two regular season meetings as we take a look at a battle for sole possession of first place in the Southern Carolina 4A Conference. Weddington at 16-1, a top 10 team in the state of North Carolina at the 4A classification right now, and they're led by KJ Younger, 22.6 points a game and 7.5 rebounds a game. Number 25 in black. Folks, we're going to call his name quite a bit tonight. He's the Swiss Army knife for the Weddington Warriors. All right, we turn our attention to Marvin Ridge on the other side for the Mavericks, and this is a balanced team. Josh Clark, the senior, leading the way with 13 points a ball game for the Mavericks. One of three double-figure scores for Marvin Ridge. He's going to have to be big tonight for Marvin Ridge to pull off a win against Weddington. Both student sections rocking here in Waxhaw, North Carolina tonight. This place jam-packed in here. We're nearing that standing room only mark. Marvin Ridge in the white, Weddington in the black. KJ Younger will jump it up against Marshall Payne, and Weddington wins the tip. Aiden Cook will handle, number 5 in black for Weddington. Open look, and Mason Zepp connects from deep to start things off. Mentioned Weddington will mix it up defensively. Multiple looks. We'll see some man-to-man, little zone look. Three-quarter on pressure here to start, 30 seconds into the game. Warriors last year were a 500 team. They're 16-1 this year with Gary Ellington back as the head coach, coming back from 2 years ago where they won the 4A state championship. Back out top, this is Marshall Payne. Brady Dunn surveys, gets it to Jack Sheridan. The kick, corner look. KJ Younger, the rebound for Weddington. Younger, Euro step in the paint, can't finish, tap back for two. Mason Zepp, the junior. He's got the first 5 points for the Warriors. And Brady Dunn gets it to the middle of the floor. Josh Clark, number 10 in white, the leading scorer. Second chance for Sheridan. He sticks it in for two. After the offensive rebound, folks, that is the starting goalie on the lacrosse team here at Marvin Ridge. Used to playing with contact, follows it up at a 7-2 lead for Weddington to start the game. Just a minute and a half into play. Clark had it altered. The block from Hamilton. Ellison kicks it. Aiden Cook rises from deep. Offensive rebound pulled in by Zepp. Ellison trying to go to work inside. Ellison through contact finishes. Timeout Marvin Ridge. And head coach Adam Haynes doesn't like what he's seeing right now. And he'll take a timeout with 5:51. We'll keep it right here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Another look, folks, if you weren't with us at the top of the Southern Carolina 4A Conference standings right now. This is a battle tonight for sole possession of first place in the league. See, these two teams have created that separation at the top. And they'll meet again in a few weeks at Weddington. Again, the first of 2 regular season meetings between these two. Now, this league always fun. And we mentioned both these teams much improved from where they were a season ago. It is Marvin Ridge basketball here with just under 6 to play. Clark, the drop off inside. Sheridan, he's got the first 4 points for the Mavericks. And that Marvin Ridge student section all fired up here. They try to trap Younger. He'll skip it across. This is Grant Hamilton, the other 22-point scorer, and scoops it off the window for 2. Weddington has an absolute 2-headed monster with 2 guys averaging 44 points. They go for about 70 a game as a team. Those 2 combined for 44 a night together, Hamilton and Younger. Last touch by the Warriors, so Mavericks will inbound underneath their own hoop. They get it to Josh Clark, their leading scorer. Sheridan, he'll line it up from 3. And rebound collected by Mason Zepp. Najee had his pocket picked. Clark on the steal. Clark coast to coast, draws the foul. Take a second look with Josh Clark. It's a guy that head coach Adam Haynes was raving about before this one. His toughness, his nonstop motor. And Coach Haynes made a great comment about Josh Clark before this game began. He said he is the most instinctive cutter on this team, and that is a very good compliment, because when you look at Adam Haynes' offenses, they do so much off ball when it comes to back screens, cutters, ball reversals. So having that tag on this team is certainly a compliment and a half if you're Josh Clark, a guy that has aspirations to play at the next level, the senior. One of 3 double-figure scores for the Mavericks. And Hamilton couldn't hit on the turnaround. St. John Bridges had it poked loose. Numbers, Younger, the throwdown. And KJ Younger, guy that Coach Ellington called physically dominant with the flush. And a whistle and a foul. On the floor against Weddington. We'll take a second look at that throwdown from KJ Younger. And second team foul against the Warriors here at the 4:08 mark of the first quarter. Brady Donald triggered in. It was deflected. Mason Zepp comes up with it. He'll slash down the baseline and rejected out of bounds. Bridges with the block from behind, and it'll stay on this end with the Warriors. Grant Hamilton will check back in for Jaden Najee. Najee will have a seat. They're trying to feed it into Younger. Here he is. It's a guy that's getting interest from mid-major Division I schools right now and Division II. He's only a junior. Brady Dunn, a launch from deep and connects. And the Mavericks pull back within 5. Here's Aiden Cook out front. Gives way on an open look from Ellison. Stick back off the second chance. Give Mason Zepp 7 of the 15 to start the game for Weddington. Now, folks, you got to remember, Weddington just 2 years removed from a 4A state championship, 3 years removed from a 3A state championship. At one point, they had won 49 straight games. And a takeaway. Aiden Cook. He'll give way to Hamilton. Shot fake. Changing hands. Smooth as silk off the window. And the Roanoke commit, his future college coach, in attendance tonight, watches Hamilton go off the glass. And Brady Dunn going to survey the floor with under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Clark can't connect from three. Aiden Cook the rebounds. Here's KJ Younger. Tell you what, the Weddington offense, it's patient and it is balanced as Zepp knocks it down. Timeout, Adam Haynes. And right now it's all Warriors. We'll take it with them. 20-8, our score on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We come back to you on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 20-8 right now. Weddington leading Marvin Ridge here on BahakelSports.com. And Mason Zepp with 7 of the first 20 for the Warriors. He had the first 5 points to start the game. And Weddington 16-1 on the season. They have been dominant, and that's including a tough non-conference schedule up until this point. Catching fire from three. Bridges hits it. And that was much needed out of the timeout from St. John Bridges. Back down to a single-digit deficit. And two really good head coaches, Adam Haynes, Gary Ellington, Aiden Cook, trying to change hands. Whistle and a foul against the Warriors. And this is going to go the other way. That's their third team foul with 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. And a substitution is Jaden Najee checks back in for Weddington. Marvin Ridge, one of the more patient offenses in the Southern Carolina 4A. Mentioned lots of dribble handoffs, actions happening off ball. Here's Josh Clark, their leading scorer, looking for the baseline. And they get it back out front to Brady Dunn. Less than a minute to play first quarter. Rise and fire three. It's good. St. John Bridges, back-to-back triples for Marvin Ridge, and it's a 6-point game. Here's KJ Younger trying to size up Jaden Morris of Marvin Ridge and draws the contact with 36 seconds left. Team foul number 1 on the Mavericks here in the first quarter. KJ Younger at the free throw line cashes in on the first. It was interesting. I was talking with Coach Ellington before this one. talked about KJ Younger and the amount of upside that this kid has. He's not even scratched the surface of his potential yet. We mentioned already receiving Division I and Division II interest, and his recruiting really starting to pick up. And plenty of talented football and basketball players come through Weddington High School, that's for sure. Aiden Cook blocked it. Grant Hamilton surveys the floor. Gets it back to Aiden Cook. Cook averaging 3.5 assists per game. His brother, A.J. Cook, was on that state title team a couple of years ago. And the first quarter comes to a close. 22-14. Weddington leading by 8 on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor and kitchen tailgate headquarters. Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And last but not least, Charlotte's hometown legal team, the Downer Law Firm. If you're injured, be sure to call the Downer Law Firm. 22-14 as we start the second quarter here in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Kendall Lewis here with you. It's been all Weddington. They had a double-digit lead. Marvin Ridge, a couple of big threes from St. John Bridges as he lets it go here. And that time off the mark. Tell you what, this place ready to erupt if Bridges would have hit that one. Najee. They're trying to work it inside. Ellison going to work. And Ellison up and under. Finishes over the front edge of the rim. I'll tell you what, you got to love this Weddington team. Coach Ellington said it before. He said, we might not be the most flashy team in the state of North Carolina, but we got a bunch of guys that are hungry, and the culture here has been instilled. Oh, sweet back cut. Clark to Dunn at the finish of the rim. Eight-point lead. Weddington by 8 as Hamilton goes to work. Nifty footwork for the Roanoke commit. Mitchin heading to play for Roanoke College at the Division III level next year. His college coach is in attendance in this game tonight. And Hamilton having a nice first half for the Warriors. They dump it inside. Bridges looking for the baseline, deflected out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Mavericks, and a substitution as Marshall Payne checks in for Brady Dunn. I'll tell you what, these two teams, well coached, but I think are going to be around for some time come 4A state playoff time in about a month and a half. And what's so interesting about this game tonight, a battle for sole possession of first place in the Southern Carolina 4A. And Bridges going to pull it back away. Bridges knocked down 2 threes in the first quarter. Aiden Cook the steal, and then he's hacked on the arm. Tell you what, Aiden Cook, we mentioned the younger brother of A.J. Cook, who is playing at Converse College right now, was a part of Coach Ellington's state championship teams a couple of years ago. Part of that team that won 49 straight games for Weddington. Here's the skip, corner 3, Powers off the mark. And rebound, Josh Clark. Clark looking to push. Sheridan, jab step. Lost the rock momentarily, but got it back. Finds Marshall Payne. Sheridan trying to go to work inside. He'll pull it back out to Morris. Boy, nice closeouts by the Warriors here on this possession. And stepping out of bounds, it's a turnover back to Weddington. (26-16). Over 5 minutes left to play, second quarter. Kendall Lewis here with you on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Well, Ellison feeds it inside. Younger, wild shot off the glass. Rebound, Mavericks. And Brady Dunn will bring it up the floor for Marvin Ridge. Boy, Morris looked at the 3 for the Mavericks, decided to pull it back out. Here's Josh Clark. Euro step in the paint, high off the glass, no. Rebound, Warriors. And up ahead to Ellison. He'll step back on the corner 3. Can't knock it down. Hamilton, offensive board, and sticks it back in. And Grant Hamilton does all the little things for Weddington, but a 22-point a night score. We mentioned Hamilton and Younger combined for 44 of the average 70 points a game for Weddington. Dunn catching fire from the corner. He knocks it down. Brady Dunn, a big 3 for Marvin Ridge. Here's Grant Hamilton. He'll survey. And Ellison looking to make his move. There's a foul away from the ball. And it's going to go against Josh Clark. His first. And that's going to take us to a media timeout with 3:35 left to play in the second quarter. Weddington leading by 9. We'll be right back on Bahakel Sports. (28-19), Weddington leading Marvin Ridge on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. As we come back to you, 3:35 left to play in the second quarter as a look at Gary Ellington, the head coach for the Weddington Warriors. Mentioned this is a program that you go back a few years, had won 49 straight games. And they did something that might not see again. They were 3 years ago were a 3A school, won the 3A state championship, reclassified up to 4A, went undefeated, won the 4A straight state championship, their first year at the 4A classification. That was 2 years ago. And the bounce feed inside, stolen away by Hamilton. Younger sets his feet from three, spins out. Hamilton follows it back up for two. And Grant Hamilton everywhere on the boards for Weddington here in the first half. Clark bounces it inside. Sheridan through contact finishes. (30-21) with 2.5 to play, second quarter. Younger, such a tough cover for anyone with his body, and that time uses it to his advantage and scores it plus the foul. Gary Ellington was talking about it. He is a tough scout, built like a fullback, over 200 pounds, already listed at 6'5". He's a guy that can also step out and shoot the three, but he gets those smaller guards, those matchups he likes. He'll back you down inside like he did right there and finish through contact. And a 12-point lead for Weddington. And a timeout with 2:23 left to play in the second quarter. Now we'll keep it right here from Marvin Ridge High School on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. You get a look at the crowd tonight and concession stand action there. How about Mike Moore on our baseline camera roaming all the way out to the concession stand to get some footage for you guys. Southern Carolina 4A conference standings as well. You see what's on the line. Sole possession of first place tonight with a win. Well, these two teams have certainly created separation from the rest of the conference. Two teams that could certainly do some damage. Weddington 16-1 on the year. There's just a handful of unbeaten teams across the state of any classification. They've got one loss. And right now a 12-point lead over Marvin Ridge with 2:15 left to play in the second quarter. Marshall Payne to the bucket. He couldn't finish the bunny. Rebound Hamilton. Weddington going to hit the reset button back out front. And KJ Younger looked at the three. And he'll pull it back out front. Younger surveys the floor. Little dribble handoff out front, Grant Hamilton. This is a guy that hit 12 threes in a game last year that set a school record. That time shows he can go off the bounce for two. Brady Dunn catching fire from three, his second triple the first half. Younger trying to drive in. It was cut off. Taken away by Dunn. In transition, leaves it off for Bridges, who skips it over to Morris, and a foul before that. This is going to be the first team foul on Weddington here in the second quarter. With 51.9 ticks left. And inbound goes to Brady Dunn out front. This guy's a pass-first point guard, as Coach Haynes said before this one. And this time he'll take it off the glass. He's got 8 first-half points for Marvin Ridge. He's their facilitator, and that time showing he can score as well. Sheridan, a big rebound. And Brady Dunn brings it up the floor for Marvin Ridge. Off the head of Aiden Cook. Sheridan driving in, had the shot altered by Hamilton. 1 second left, he heaves it up. And the first half comes to a close. It was a good one. Weddington leading by 9, 35-26 at the break. We'll be right back with our Downer Law Firm halftime report coming up on We welcome you back to our Downer Law Firm halftime report on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. It's 35-26. Weddington leading Marvin Ridge by 9 here at halftime at Marvin Ridge High School in Waxhaw, North Carolina tonight. Tell you what, great high school hoops all across the Charlotte metro area and surrounding counties. We've got an interesting feature on one of the best women's players, not only in this area, but the state of North Carolina, in Blanca Thomas.
Thomas stands 6'5". She's the tallest player Robert Conrad has ever coached.
I'll stand on a chair if I need to get her attention.
While her name grabs enough attention on its own, it's also her height.
My mom is Ecuadorian, so it's a family name, which you wouldn't assume because my mom's really tall, and you don't expect that coming from Hispanic normally.
Naturally, basketball became a part of her life at an early age.
So Blanca was probably 7, 8 years old. Tried to move her up to the 10-year-old group. She was a head taller than everybody else still.
But it did not always have a place in her heart.
Like, I didn't feel the love I do for it now back then.
Her tune changed during the pandemic when she took the time to take her talent to new heights. Raw talent gets you notoriety, and with it, added pressure.
When I walk into a building, it's like everybody's like, oh, like, then no one sees this often. And so you're expected to perform at a certain level. So when I feel like I'm not meeting that expectation, it definitely takes a toll on it mentally.
While she's been working hard on the hardwood, there's still much to work on to keep her skills tight.
There are not a lot of Blancas out there in the state at all, if probably none. And from the time she was a freshman till now, she's got 2 people, 3 people guarding her sometimes. And so she's really been, more patient. I think we've seen a big jump this year and just in her, the mental side of her game.
Blanca came into her senior season with her future intact after committing to Chapel Hill. The sense of security allows her to take the pressure and blinders off of her box score.
I was just always trying to be perfect, but that's why this year I've really taken a step back to look at the whole picture and just realize it's not everything. You can affect the game in so many different ways.
Reporting in Charlotte, Jack Taylor, Bahakel Sports.
What a great story on Blanca Thomas. We're actually heading to have one of her games Tuesday, Independence Charlotte Catholic, right here on BahakelSports.com. Right now it's 35-26. Marvin Ridge and Weddington, the second half coming up right after these messages. (35-26) as we come back to you on our Downer Law Firm halftime report from Bahakel Sports and our game of the week tonight with Weddington. 16-1 coming into this one. They've got a 9-point lead over Marvin Ridge in a battle for sole possession of first place as we take a look at some highlights from these two teams. In the first half, Grant Hamilton, a nice scoop and finish off glass. Tell you what, Weddington turning defense into offense. Aiden Cook that time finding KJ Younger for a throwdown. And then Marvin Ridge started to settle in. Brady Dunn hit a couple of threes in the second quarter. Had 8 points in the first half for Marvin Ridge. And Grant Hamilton again finishing in traffic in front of his future college coach who's in attendance tonight watching him play. He'll be heading to Roanoke College to play his college basketball next year. And KJ Younger, that size advantage inside, going to work, just backing down his defender and finishing through contact to cap it off and a 9-point Weddington lead. We'll be right back with the second half coming up. (35-26) Weddington, 9-point lead as we come back to start the third quarter, the second half of play here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. And Weddington will have the basketball to start. It looked like they might pull away early, but Marvin Ridge hit a couple of big threes. St. John Bridges and Brady Dunn hit some big threes in the second quarter as Weddington strikes first out of the locker room and extends their lead. Marvin Ridge, so much movement, cutters. Adam Haynes, his system, he's in year number 10 as the head coach, 17 years working and coaching here at Marvin Ridge High School. And this one stolen away. Hamilton in traffic, gets tripped up. Younger, the Euro step. And can't get the bounce. Tapped out of play. Clark saves it right to Sheridan. And Dunn nearly backcourt. Gary Ellington wanted it. A backcourt violation. He didn't get it. Kick out. Corner three. Good. And it's big. St. John Bridges, his third three of the ball game. (37-29), folks. Buckle in. Battle for first, sole possession of first place on the line, and Younger just goes to work and dominates inside. He is so dangerous, especially when he catches it that low in the post and draws the foul against Marshall Payne. And a chance to complete a three-point play for KJ Younger. Oh, it's interesting. Weddington brought a humongous student section and crowd for this one. Again, these two schools separated by just 10 minutes. Weddington won the football state championship this year. And in fact, their football coach, Coach Capone, is in the building tonight to support Gary Ellington and his Weddington Warriors. Catch and shoot three for Dunn. Off the mark and tapped out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end with Marvin Ridge. Well, Marvin Ridge desperately needs a bucket right here. Trailing by 11. Dunn misses on the lay-in. Had a wide open crease, but he taps it back to his teammate Bridges from behind. Dunn from three. He makes up for it. Brady Dunn missed the lay-in. Tracked it back, poked it loose, and Bridges found him for an open three. And the Mavericks have trimmed the deficit to single digits. Trying to float it inside of Younger. Deflected away. Loose on the floor. And Brady Dunn has it with just over 5 minutes left to play. All of a sudden, this Marvin Ridge student section and fan base looking to come alive here. Clark spins, kicks it, done, launches for three. Off the mark and tapped around. Ellison pulls in the rebound. Younger, he'll try it from distance. And big rebound for Hamilton, who goes up and draws the contact. Tell you what, Grant Hamilton, that is one part of his game that I think is so underrated. His ability to crash the boards. And tonight, at least 5 offensive rebounds already. And Hamilton knocks down the second. Here's this little 1-2-2 full court pressure we saw in the first half from Weddington. Does Marvin Ridge have enough to get over the tank? Been hovering around that 8-10 point margin the entire game, it feels like. Clark, quick off his feet, missed it on the second chance. And then a whistle. And a foul. Going to go against Marvin Ridge. A technical foul has been issued. Wow. And Hamilton's going to go to the line. Both the technical free throws good from Grant Hamilton. And Weddington will get the basketball out of bounds with 4:13 left to play. Ellison surveys the floor. Younger with the Euro step, had his pocket picked. Out in transition comes Bridges and the Mavericks. Tell you what, watch number 10 in white, Josh Clark, really good cutter off the ball. Sheridan driving in through contact, just bullies his way to the rack. That's a big-time bucket from Jack Sheridan, the senior forward for the Mavericks. Younger trying to get a step on Marshall Payne. Aiden Cook, no-look dish inside. Ellison, the drop-off. High off the window, the finish from Mason Zepp. Give Mason Zepp 9 points for the Warriors. (46-34). Dunn cuts to the bucket and finishes. Hey, one thing about Marvin Ridge, Adam Haynes and his group, they run some of the best offensive sets out of the half court you'll see in the area. Hamilton trying to get around Clark, and Josh Clark charged with the foul. And the Marvin Ridge faithful didn't like it. But a timeout with 2:19 to go in the third. We'll be right back on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We welcome you back to Marvin Ridge High School for our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Weddington leading Marvin Ridge 46-36, and a technical foul. Just as we come back out of the timeout, they get Aiden Cook with a technical. Brady Dunn fell to the floor, and the Weddington side saying that he sold it. But they get Aiden Cook with a technical, and Dunn's going to go and shoot the technical free throws for Marvin Ridge. And short on the first. This place is loud. Both student sections from the top all the way down to the bottom row. They missed them both. Well, Marvin Ridge will get the basketball. And Cook just steals it away. Had it rejected on the other end. Take a second look. St. John Bridges got a piece of it. It's going to stay with Weddington underneath their own hoop. They floated over the top to KJ Younger. Younger bullies his way to the rack for two. And just over 2 minutes left to play, third quarter. Oh, nice spin. Morris down the alley, couldn't get the roll. Bridges, the follow, and the foul. Take a second look. Oh, what a nice move to get to the rack by Morris and St. John Bridges, who has really provided the spark plug for Marvin Ridge. Able to finish it, plus the foul. And completes the three-point play. We've got a 9-point game here at Marvin Ridge High School. Nice back cut. Hamilton, all double clutches and finishes. And a timeout with 1:35. Let's take a second look. Grant Hamilton, the back cut and the find from KJ Younger. And we will keep it right here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Folks, let's take a look at that Southern Carolina Conference standings. Once again, you see this is what's at stake, is a spot in sole possession of first place with a win tonight. We mentioned the RPI system that the North Carolina High School Athletic Association put in place a year ago is favoring both of these teams in terms of seeding. And it's interesting because Weddington right now top 10 in the state in the Class 4A at 16-1. Of course, you got a couple of unbeatens across the state in combining all four classifications. There's very few teams that have just one loss at this point in the season. And 50-39, our score here in this one. Catching fire from three, done. Out of the timeout, trims the deficit back to 8. Younger, the skip. Hamilton, shot fake. Hamilton spins. Oh, bucket and the harm. What a move by Grant Hamilton. The spin, and he draws the foul on Clark. And a chance to complete a three-point play for Hamilton. He knocks it down. 53-42. And it's interesting with Weddington. They are a tough team to scout. And I was talking with Coach Ellington before this one about his team. You've got two 22-point per game scorers, but some other guys around those two, and Younger and Hamilton that can really beat you. And Brady Dunn backs it away for the Mavericks. Well, Marvin Ridge really needs a bucket here. 36 seconds left in the third. Inside they work it. Payne, the deflection, and the save off the leg of Bridges. And they're going to stay. It's going to stay with Marvin Ridge. Tell you what, we had a great angle over here in the corner at that one. And I don't know, but it's going to stay with the Mavericks. .22 seconds remaining. Bridges, the skip, corner three, Morris. And Younger pulls in the rebound. KJ Younger will play for the last shot with 5 seconds. Younger makes his move. Younger, tough shot, followed back up, and just off by Powers. And the third quarter comes to a close, 53-42. We'll be right back on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. (53-42). Weddington leading Marvin Ridge as we go to the fourth quarter here at Waxhaw, North Carolina. Marvin Ridge High School for our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week tonight in the Southern Carolina 4A Conference. 2 unbeatens in conference play at 3-0, looking for sole possession of first place tonight. Mavericks have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Morris, dribble drive, bounces it, Bridges, slices the baseline and scores. Boy, St. John Bridges has been a glue piece tonight for the Mavericks. Boy, Grant Hamilton has it at the top. Younger trying to go to work. He'll kick it. Aiden Cook lets it fly from 3. And Sheridan the rebound. Dunn back out front. Sheridan really physical forward. Nice save right to Morris, who lays it home. We've got a 7-point game. Ellison trying to go to work inside. Oh, gets the turnaround to go. Jack Ellison, that's a guy that Coach Ellington calls the glue piece on this Weddington team. A tough finish inside. And lead back up to 9. Bridges looking for the baseline, sealed off by Zepp. Payne driving in, throws it away, right to Aiden Cook. Cook on the other end, a whistle and a foul. And they're going to get Jaden Morris on the foul, trying to poke it loose from Aiden Cook. And Aiden Cook at the free throw line for Weddington. We mentioned A.J. Cook's little brother. Those of you around the Charlotte metro area certainly remember those back-to-back state championship teams in the 2020-2021 season, the 2021-2022 season. 3A state championship and a 4A state championship. They won 49 straight games in those 2 years combined. Coach Ellington has been away from the program for a year as an assistant coach at Queens, has come back, and right now Weddington has an 11-point lead, 57-46. And folks, we want to remind you that tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, and by Charlotte's hometown legal team, the Downer Law Firm. And you get a look inside of Coach Gary Ellington's huddle right now. We mentioned this is a guy that has come back to be the head coach here. He was at Queens University in Charlotte as an assistant coach at the college level last year. And it's funny, I was talking with him. He says, look, I've been at Weddington 18 years. This is my 16th as the head coach. And he's still maintained his teaching position while at Queens last year, decided to come back and coach the Weddington Warriors. And he's got a couple of guys that were sophomores on that 4A state championship team from 2 years ago that played significant minutes on that team, back on this team. And Weddington has picked up where they left off with Coach Ellington. It's been a big year for Weddington High School athletics. They've already got a 4A state championship in football. And a big-time three from St. John Bridges out of the timeout. 8-point game, 57-49. And just over 5.5 left to play in the fourth. They lob it inside over the top. Hamilton, bucket in the arm. Grant Hamilton has been the difference maker, it feels like, in tonight's game. At timely spots, he's able to finish. You get a second look. Great camera work by our Bahakel Sports production crew. And Grant Hamilton a chance to complete a three-point play yet again. I mentioned his college coach, his future college coach, in attendance in this one. He's heading to Roanoke to play his college basketball at the Division III level next year. And Coach Ellington says he had interest from all three levels, but had such a great relationship with Roanoke and decided that was the best fit for him. That's where he's headed. He's going to make a great college player. Step back three, Bridges. And rebound collected in by Younger. KJ Younger, coast to coast, had it swiped out of his hands. Done in transition. Numbers for the Mavericks, and Sheridan finishes. Every time you think Weddington's going to pull away, Marvin Ridge gets it back to single digits. Trying to float it inside Younger, and he sticks it in off the window. And Coach Ellington wants a timeout here at the 4:27 mark of the fourth quarter. We're going to keep it right here from Marvin Ridge High School on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Get a look at the Southern Carolina 4A standings again. This is what's at stake, is sole possession of first place with a winner of this game tonight. Again, they're going to play again in a few weeks at Weddington. And there's a look at Coach Capone, the football coach at Weddington. Just won a 4A state championship for the Warriors. And the AD right beside him, Mike Hart, have made the trip from 10 minutes away to watch Weddington. (62-51). Our score here with just over 4 minutes. And Brady Dunn pulls it back away to Marshall Payne. Oh, nice cut, and Payne just lays it in off the glass. Deficit's back to 9. The clock just ticking away. Weddington trying to eat some of that clock here. 9-point lead. Ellison surveys the floor. Ellison, he'll kick it. Back out front to Aiden Cook. And Dunn got a piece of it, nearly poked it free. Cook finds Ellison cutting to the basket for 2. And Sheridan tries to slice in, had it poked out of his hands. Boy, the Weddington faithful thought it was clean. We'll take a break here at the 3:09 mark. Be right back. 11-point game on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. .309 left to play in the fourth quarter, 64-53. Weddington 11-point lead on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week from Marvin Ridge High School. Let me tell you what, been a good ball game. Weddington has led the entire game from the tip, but we've had this thing to single digits a couple of times. Sheridan knocks down the first and a chance to get it back to single digits with just over 3 minutes left to play. That leaves the second one short. I think Adam Haynes has got a decision to make here. The clock is not on his side, trailing by 10. Interesting to see when the Mavericks start to foul here. And Hamilton just streaks to the bucket and lays it home. And a whistle and a foul off ball. And this is going to come against Weddington. That is going to be team foul number 2. Marvin Ridge basketball with 2:40. And Younger deflects the inbound from Morris back out. And Cook tips it right to Ellison on the steal. And Ellison draws the contact on the other end. And they're going to get St. John Bridges. That's his fourth. Team foul number 3 on the Mavericks. And Jack Ellison at the free throw line steps up and cashes in on the first. It's interesting, these two teams, as we mentioned, going to play in just a few weeks again for the second meeting at Weddington. One of two goes Ellison. Dunn catching fire for 3 and off the mark. Rebound collected in by the Warriors. And Dunn nearly poked it free of Cook. Instead, an open look for Zepp. And Hamilton cleans it up with the one-handed hammer. Oh my goodness. We'll see if we can get a second look on the missed 3 from Zepp. Hamilton, the one-handed flush. You take a second look at the bunnies from the Roanoke commit. And Weddington leading by 15 with 1:58 left to play. Let's do a third time on that one. And Grant Hamilton able to put it down. I tell you what, the clock not on the side of Marvin Ridge now with 1:58 left to play. Trailing by 15. Again, a win tonight would give Coach Ellington and the Weddington Warriors their 4th conference win and sole possession of first place in the Southern Carolina. We talk about these two teams playing again on the 16th of February, the last game of the regular season at Weddington again. And Ellison steals it away. Younger to the bucket, lays it home. And all of a sudden this thing is just ballooned to a 17-point lead for Weddington over the last few minutes. Sheridan, tough turnaround in the paint. Tell you what, Jack Sheridan has played well tonight for Marvin Ridge. Couple of key buckets. Coach Ellington talked about this before the game with me, that the culture, even though last year was a tough year and Coach Ellington's year away from the program, this team, the culture has been built when it comes to commitment and sacrifice. As we mentioned, a bunch of guys left off of those state championship teams from 2 and 3 years ago. They won back-to-back state championships in different classifications. And Younger picks it up with 56 seconds. He'll lay it home. Boy, KJ Younger has looked the part. And Morris gets bumped, trying to drive in with 44 seconds left. Slicing and unable to finish is St. John Bridges. Take a second look. The last whistle. First one's up and good, 73-57. Our score here at Marvin Ridge High School. Once again, if you look at Marvin Ridge, they're going to be just fine. They're going to play again on the 16th of February, these two teams. And you got to think possibly a third time in the conference tournament the week to follow. Boy, great efforts from both teams here in this one. Weddington just going to dribble out the clock. Our final score, 73-58. Weddington is going to pick up their 17th win of the season, and the Warriors 17-1 and 4-0 in the Southern Carolina 4A. What a ball game on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Once again, a 15-point lead for Weddington here in this one. And we hope to get Coach Ellington over for a post-game interview to follow from this one. From Waxhaw, North Carolina, final score 73-58. Weddington wins it. For Kendall Lewis, Brady Pugh, Mike Moore, and the rest of our Bahakel Sports production crew, we say so long from Marvin Ridge High School.